and welcome to this FPL Best Forwards video with me, Holly Shand. This is the final video in a three-part series, so remember to subscribe to the channel to check out the defender and midfield positions. But the forward position, particularly that second forward slot, is causing us the biggest headaches this pre-season. So I'm going to be going through my top 5 picks and also looking at their AI predictions over the opening 4 game weeks. Let's get into it. Starting off at number 1 then is Erling Haaland on a predicted 33.9 points over the first 4 game weeks. That's way higher than any other player. He's also, according to AI, the best captain pick in all of the opening 4 game weeks. So it seems absolutely crazy that around 14% of managers do not own him. It could spell disaster for your FPL season before it's even started by not going with him. 36 goals and 9 assists last season from an expected goal involvement of 39.1. This guy is absolutely the real deal. He's worth his price tag, even though he's seen a big increase. He's the best goal scorer the Premier League has ever seen, playing for one of the best teams we've ever seen in the Premier League as well. Plus he's on penalties. Get him in. In second place, we've got Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus on a predicted 22.2 points over the first 4 game weeks. All of these AI predictions are available for members of Fantasy Football Hub. You can get 50% off right now by using the link in the description to this video. Now, Jesus managed 11 goals and 7 assists from an expected goal involvement of 20.9 last season. Quite limited minutes as well, missing a big chunk of the season through injury. So if you scale it up in terms of what he's capable of, if he plays 90 minutes every game and stays injury free, he is capable of being among the top scoring forwards for the season. He was, in the mix last season, despite missing such a long time. And the attractiveness here is Arsenal's opening fixtures. 3 home games in the first 4, 3 green fixtures out of those 4 as well. And he could be the answer to that tricky second forward spot. The only issue I have is he among the top 3 Arsenal players to own for the start of the season? Right now, I think I can pick 3 players in other positions I prefer to Jesus. We've got to remember the midfielders accrue points more quickly than Jesus because they get an extra point per goal. Also eligible for clean sheet points as well. But at 31.4% owned, it kind of makes sense to go with Jesus. Now, one forward you may not have heard much about is Brentford's Yohan Wissa, currently in around 4% of squads. Managed 7 goals and 4 assists last season, but it's his opportunity now with Tony banned until January to make that number 9 spot his own. He's certainly got the potential. He got 3 attacking returns in the final 3 games of last season in the absence of Tony. Great fixtures for Brentford as well, including 3 home games in their first 4. I'm expecting him to start fast. In 4th place, we've got Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins on a predicted 19.8 points to start the season. He's one of the most consistent forwards in FPL, and granted, he did very well last season. Only Haaland, Kane and Tony scored more FPL points than him among the forward position, and Kane and Tony are kind of out the equation for the start of the season. So he's a player that's got over 10 goals in all 3 of his seasons in the Premier League, and he's very much a form player, delivering in pre-season as well, which is encouraging. Couple of difficulties with Watkins there, which means he's not higher. Tough fixtures to start the season for Villa. 3 away games in their first 4. Also that European involvement that starts the midweek after game week 2. That's enough to put me off him initially, but he's certainly going to have his time in our squads this season. In 5th place, we've got Newcastle United's Callum Wilson on 20.4 predicted points over the opening 4 game weeks. I think he's the undisputed number 9 now at Newcastle. He's on penalties as well. Isaac tends to play as a substitute or out wide, with Wilson being the central player, which is really encouraging. The difficulty with Wilson, which is why he's only in 9.4% of teams at the time of recording, is those tricky opening fixtures to start the season. Man City away in game week 2, Liverpool at home in game week 3, but he had scored goals against Villa, City and Brighton last season, so that might not put you off. He is a fixture-proof player, so he is one to consider as well. Now, if we look at the AI predictions over the opening 4 game weeks, obviously Haaland out in front. There are a couple of players here that I haven't mentioned. Harry Kane and Alexander Mitrovic in the top 6. They are both rumoured to be leaving their clubs in this transfer window, so that does dent their appeal, and that means I'd completely avoid them in game week 1. As I've mentioned, Alexander Isak isn't the central striker at Newcastle. He tends to go out wide, which is why I prefer Wilson for the start of the season. Remember, Wilson got 13 goal involvements in the final 10 game weeks of last season, far above what Isak's output was. Couple of other faces in here. Chelsea new signing Nkunku makes the top 10, an interesting proposition. The only thing that puts me off him is that he tends to play as a secondary striker with Jackson leading the line, and that, you know, to be classified as a forward but not playing as the number 9 does deplete his attractiveness. Same for Liverpool's Darwin Núñez. We don't quite know what system Klopp's going to use to start the season. He did get the number 9 shirt though, which is interesting. So perhaps he can have his breakout season. He is a stat buster, not for the right reasons though. Massive potential in terms of his XG. Needs to improve on his finishing, but is one to watch out for. Remember, you can access all of the predicted data in this video as a Fantasy Football Hub member. 50% off right now using the affiliate link in the description to this video, and a fantastic offer: win your mini league or your money back. If you've enjoyed this one, remember to give it a like, subscribe to the channel as well, then you can check out the defenders and midfielders videos that I've had out in the last few days. Thank you for your support this pre-season. I'll be back very soon with another video.